With all the discussions and meetings that followed the escape of some students, we now had a plan to better educate our kids in the future. We did still have the problem though, of finding and retrieving the kids that had escaped. They had intentionally disabled any tracking technology that we had with their embedded tech. We still had other ways of finding them, but they took a little longer. Additionally, we still had to convince them to change their rebellious ways. It would serve no purpose to bring them back just to have them decide to abandon their place in our society in other ways. They had done things against our laws, and that compounded the problem, giving them even more reasons to not want to come back. They did not want to give up their place among the natives, and they also did not want to come back to face charges for the laws they broke. All of the people in our society get routine backups of their mind and genetic information, just in case they have an accident and somehow die. This does not happen, in all but extreme cases, since our society is very safe. We make the backups just in case. Additionally, just before many of the students left, they made it a point to do a backup.
Now, at the time of their backups, they had not yet broken the most serious of the laws that they did later. This meant that if we needed to restore a backup, they would not have to answer to the same laws as they would have if they returned. There were some who did choose to return, others who we did not locate until it was too late, and others who preferred to just stay and perish with the natives, rather than returning, since they knew they had backups waiting that would not face the same charges.
Wow, I do not remember the two of you being here when I started my backup. Did making my backup take longer than expected?
Well, actually, we are not helping to make a backup of you. We are restoring you from a backup created hundreds of years ago.
What do you mean hundreds of years? I just barely stepped in to make a backup a few minutes ago. Please do not joke like that. I have been here the whole time, and it has only been just a few minutes. I just started the backup a few minutes ago. I remember the whole thing.
We know about your plan to escape and live like a king among the natives. You know that this would take advantage of that people, just so that you can live well.
It is also a very selfish thing for you to do, since you would be running away from the parents and the society that have shown you so much love for your whole life. You would be giving up a very nice future, all because you want to mistreat others, be with whatever women you want, and not have to live by our rules. Is that worth it, to lose all hope of a future family you could one day have, and all of the many benefits that come with becoming an adult in our society?
None of this makes any sense. How could you know about that? Who told? We all promised to keep this so secret. It is not that I do not love society, I just want to have the chance to truly live like they did in old times. They might have had a short life, but they lived however they wanted. The quality of their lives made up for the shorter time. Also, I did plan on coming back eventually. I was making this backup copy just in case something goes wrong with the plan. I would have come back if you had not caught me first.
So tell me, was it worth it, escaping? Did you get all that you wanted from your time away? We were not joking that we are restoring you from a backup made earlier. You did already escape along with a number of your friends. Congratulations, you all did keep it a very big secret, and you did catch everyone off guard. So tell me, how was your grand adventure?
I did not have a grand adventure yet. I just finished making my backup, then I was interrupted before I had a chance to do literally anything. If what you say is true, then I suspect that it did not go as well as I had thought that it would. I was going to come back eventually. Why would you need to restore my backup? Did it really go that badly?
Yeah, it kind of did. From what little we can tell, you did have quite a bit of fun there for a while. You and your friends did a lot of damage that we will have to clean up. We can only hope that the humanoids forget a lot of the secrets that you and your friends told them about our society. Oh, and also, you died. That has been confirmed.
So the mess remains that you helped to create, yet there were no memories that could be saved from your grand adventure. Not very worth it, right?
Whoa. That is pretty heavy. I cannot believe that it is really true. It seems like just a minute ago that I stepped in to make my backup. Glad I did then. So what happens now?
Well, we have started a new educational program since you left. We are giving students the chance to live a normal mortal life, so they can experience things similar to what you and your friends wanted to experience. It is not realistic though to get to be kings. A normal life is, for the most part, lived in poverty. There are health issues, backbreaking work, losses of loved ones, and fear of death that you know will come eventually. It is not always a fun time, but there always are some fun times that you will have. After talking with your parents, it has been decided that you will be sent back to live the life of someone very similar to who you took advantage of earlier in your escape. According to genetic analysis and computer projections, this is what your new body will look like. You will be born and live your life in near the lowest class where most people live their lives. You were very eager to let them do the work for you. Now you will see that it is the normal existence to live being taken advantage of. But you will also have fun times, loved ones, and most likely a family of your own while you are there. It will be the normal good and bad, with the normal genetics and health that normal people have. When you eventually return home, after your mortal body dies, you will not remember your life here before your earth life started, or how you once looked. You will just know that you are very happy not to be dead for real, and you will be a lot more ready to truly learn the values we have, and appreciate them this time. As you do learn them, we will slowly reveal to you details and memories of before, as you are ready for them. This will help you gain a new depth of wisdom not possible before, and in time, you will be fully back to remembering everything about who you are, and you will be back to looking like what you do now, or whatever you choose that you would prefer to look like. You will be able to have time to find a wife either from good appropriate relationships you had while down there, or from new friends you meet back here.
Oh no, this is horrible news. I will have to go spend a really long time as a slave now? Oh no, that will be the worst thing ever. Can I just say I am sorry and not go?
I would not worry too much. You will have some limited time to connect with family members before you have to go. It has been a long time that you were away, and they miss you. In those early days of starting this experiment, we had high hopes of building up societies that would be peaceful, appropriate places to teach kids some basic lessons. We did have some successes, including a society in the area that would eventually become Western Europe, where there was a lot of equality. The leaders and the other members of the society lived pretty equal lives in that group. When looking at all groups in the world that we had a part in, what we tried to do to improve the situation turned into one abject failure after another. It was almost like your whack-a-mole game. We get one society a little better, then the others deteriorate. It kept happening, with nothing working to improve the situation for long. The leaders of the society kept trying to enslave the others. No matter what we did, they kept their warriors and slaves. When the kids started coming back, it was immediately evident how successful the experiment was, in terms of the later education that they received. Even though the experience was a lot more brutal and emotionally tough than we had planned, they took far more out of it than we had anticipated they would. While they seemed pretty ignorant and brutal in their Earth life, the children had such vivid experiences, that when it came time to reintroduce them to our rules, and how we have built our society, things made much more sense to them. They were actually grateful for those rules now, since they valued the equality and peace that the rules bring. They felt that having lived that Earth life gave them a very rich set of experiences they can always draw on. Since all races had been wiped out by numerous wars and tragedies in our past, they also came to experience the richness and depth that so many cultures and races gives. All in all, this seemed to be the piece of the puzzle we were missing to keep our kids safe.
My Earth life was very tough. I felt it was the worst thing in the world that was done to me when being sent to that life. I wanted to do anything other than have to live that fate. After the long time it seemed to take to return, I also did not like how uncomfortable it was to make up for what I had done in my Earth life, and in the trouble with planning the escape. My parents and ancestors, whom I call grandparents, were very tough on me. More tough than I thought that I could bear. But something amazing happened. I realized finally what they had been trying to tell me all of that time. I do not know how I did not see it before. I used to be so ungrateful to others, and so quick to want to take advantage of others, to make my own situation better. While that sounded nice at the time, I never knew how nice it is to truly understand those I love. I am a different person now. I think differently, I feel differently, and everything about who I am now would not have happened if it were not for my earth life, and the education that I've received afterwards. I have now been given the chance to work in the tunnel, where the students go through, when they pass on to this side from the earth realm. I am going to be tough on those who need it, just as my parents had to be tough with me. I will scare them, and drag them through the depths of humility. I cannot bear the thought of others rebelling and leaving, before they have the chance to truly understand what they are missing. I was one of the biggest critics of our society before, but this came out of the ignorance of youth, and me not truly understanding what they were trying to do. I will be rough or scary if I need to, but I will make sure that others have their best chance at growing to be an adult in our society, and truly understanding the beauty, peace, and love that I do now finally understand myself now.
Please stay tuned for more things that happened to affect the history of what you are dealing with now. More episodes are to come.